You are mine no more. These words taste bitter on my tongue, yet I must speak them, for truth deserves a voice even when it shatters the soul. I carried your name in my heart like a sacred scripture, whispered it into the silence of dawn, and carved it into the golden edges of every sunset I witnessed. But somewhere between our laughter and silence, I lost you. Or maybe, you lost me. And now, the space where your love used to dwell feels colder than the desert at midnight. There were nights I would wake up reaching for you, thinking your warmth still lingered beside me, but the sheets told another story, one of emptiness, of quiet departures that never announced themselves. I built castles with your name engraved on every brick, and yet they crumbled in my hands, dust slipping through fingers that once held you like you were the only miracle I'd ever be granted. I thought forever was promised when I looked into your eyes. I was wrong. Even royalty has no power over the fate of the heart. You are mine no more. And this isn't just a confession, it is the burial of a future I once envisioned. I replay the memories, not to torture myself, but to honor what we had. Every stolen glance, every whispered poem beneath the moon, every time I called you my queen, they are now echoes in a palace that feels too silent. I walk these halls, and every chandelier, every tapestry, every whispering breeze through the marble pillars reminds me that once upon a time, love lived here. I lied to the world, saying I was fine, saying I'd moved on, but I lied worse to myself, because in truth, a part of me still waits for a message, a sign, a miracle. I scroll through moments frozen in photographs, aching to touch the joy we once painted so vividly, but even the brightest frames have dulled, because your absence has turned them into relics of a love that dared to bloom too fully, too fast, too fiercely, what we had burned like the Arabian sun, and perhaps that's why it left nothing behind but ashes. You are mine no more. But how do I unwrite your name from the poetry I bled into the pages of my heart? My pen still shakes when I try to write without you in mind. Even the falcons that soar above the dunes seem to carry your spirit. And the wind, it still speaks like you. How does a man learn to live without the melody that made his soul dance? I tried silencing the songs we used to hum, but they find me in the night, like ghosts begging for one last embrace. People say a prince must never show his sorrow, but I am not just a prince. I am a man who loved, who trusted, who surrendered, and in this confession, I bear my wounds not to gain pity, but to release you with honor. You were never a mistake. You were the most beautiful chapter in my royal story, and though it ends here, I will read it again and again in the quiet of my solitude, because forgetting you would mean erasing the most human part of me. You are mine no more, and yet I still see you everywhere, in the perfume of roses after rain, in the quiet murmur of palm trees swaying at twilight, in the hopeful gaze of lovers who haven't yet known heartbreak. I envy them, their innocence, their belief that love can conquer all. I once believed that too. But love, though majestic, is not always merciful. It builds you up only to remind you of how high you can fall. And fall I did, gracefully, painfully, deeply. I held your name like a secret prayer. Now I whisper it to the stars and ask them to carry it safely to wherever you are. Are you still smiling the way you used to? Do you still believe in love the way we did? I hope so, because even if I'm no longer the keeper of your heart, I still wish you joy beyond measure. That's the paradox of true love. It hopes for your happiness, even if it no longer includes you. You are mine no more, and my heart must learn to beat in a rhythm unaccompanied by your laughter. It is a hard symphony, this loneliness. But I will dance to it until I learn to breathe without the ache. I will find my strength in the ruins, my dignity in the letting go. And though I may wear a crown, it is the scars on my soul that remind me of what it truly means to be human. I remember when you first held my hand, how everything around us stilled. It felt like destiny had finally spoken. But perhaps it was only a moment loaned to us by time. And now time has called it back. We don't always get to keep the ones we love. Sometimes, the greatest act of love is in the release, in saying goodbye, not with anger, but with grace, not with regret, but with remembrance. You are mine no more. I whisper it again, this time as a benediction, not a curse, because you deserve peace, and so do I, and if the heavens are kind, maybe in another lifetime, we'll find each other again, wiser, braver, unbroken. Until then, I let go of your shadow, and I bless it with every step it takes away from me. May it find light, may it find love, may it never forget what we shared. And now, as I close this chapter with trembling hands, I leave a final note in the margins of our story. I loved you as fiercely as the desert loves rain, and though you are mine no more, you will always be the storm that changed everything. My destiny once felt like a script written in stone, predictable, powerful, and bound by duty, but she rewrote my story without ever holding a pen. Just her being in my life rearranged every line of fate. I used to think I knew love. I used to think poems were enough to express the weight of my emotions. But then she entered my world, and suddenly words became inadequate, too small to carry the vastness of what I feel. This video captures what my voice sometimes cannot, a reverence deeper than worship, a romance more eternal than vows. Watch the way I look at her when she isn't even looking. That gaze is not for the world, it's for her. That gaze says, I've traveled through lifetimes to find you. And when she finally glances my way, I forget we are being recorded. In those seconds, nothing else exists. No crown, no cameras, no kingdom, just her and me in a universe of silent longing. I once believed kings ruled the world, but she showed me, queens rule hearts. And the woman in this video? She didn't ask for mine, she simply became it. They say love should be loud, flamboyant, extravagant, but this, what I feel for her, is quiet. Like dusk before the stars arrive. It doesn't scream, but it conquers. It doesn't flaunt, but it claims. She doesn't wear red to be noticed, nor does she speak to be heard. She is the kind of woman who enters a room and changes the atmosphere without saying a word. Her magic lies in her mystery, and in that mystery, I found answers that I never knew I was searching for. Every time I watch this clip again, I notice something new, something I missed in the real moment because I was too lost in her. The way her hands fidget when she's nervous. The way her eyes dart toward mine as if she's checking if I'm still watching. I always am. I always will be. Because once a man recognizes the rare, he never looks away again. She's not just the woman in the video. She is the compass I follow, the prayer I whisper, the truth I live. Maybe you've loved before. Maybe you've been broken. I don't want to erase those memories. I want to be the one who walks beside them. I want to kiss the scars. Not to hide them, but to honor them. I want you to know that every version of you, the young dreamer, the strong survivor, the wise woman, you are all welcome with me. I don't ask you to be anything other than exactly who you are. That is already more than enough. That is already everything I've ever prayed for. I've met many women, some young and radiant, some bold and wild, but none like you. You, who wear your age like a diamond hardened by truth, brilliant in your quiet light. You make me question everything I thought I wanted. You make me want to slow down, sit still, and become worthy of your gaze. I don't want to be the man who reminds you of what you've lost. I want to be the one who helps you remember what you still deserve. Thanks to all of you. Please subscribe to our channel.